I think we're all good now.
Right.
Okay,
All good.
so I came to meet you about 4 years ago, and it was because I had been struggling with substances for quite a long time, mainly painkillers or opiates and benzos, and then like alcohol had been a part of it like the whole time, but I've been through like a bunch of treatment centers, and what was offered to me didn't really seem to be a solution. Like I knew there was like more going on than me like using drugs. Like
Mhm.
um my first memory of like trying a substance was like I drank a beer, like, or my first couple beers. The first time I felt buzz, I was like 17 years old, and I was like, "Fuck, I feel normal." I was at a
Mhm.
party, and I was like, "Fuck, I can actually talk to girls."
Well,
So, I guess what I had received in the rehabs, or what it felt like, was like vilifying or vilifying the drugs as well as like the clients. It's just, it felt like I was just like, you're weak or whatever. You just blah blah blah.
mhm.
I knew there was deeper issues. So, and actually, the first substance I got addicted to was Klonopin. That was through a psychiatrist. But I guess in a roundabout way, the question I'm getting to is like, what what's really behind addiction? It's not the substances.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's like, I mean, the substance is part of it, but I mean, and the way that addiction is seen right now, I mean, by most people, it's like, okay, the problem.
Correct.
I have an addiction problem. So as long as you're going to be working on like trying not to use, if you want, because you think using is the problem, well, that's the way that's what we got a problem. Addiction by itself, in the way I see it, again, like you said, okay, all right, 17, you're going to drink a beer bomb, you're going to feel what? You're going to feel the effect of the beer on you, which is going to give you what? I mean, the opportunity to be more like yourself, because the alcohol, if you want, is going to be like helping you to numb all the insecurity, and then you more yourself. So the alcohol by itself is not the problem. It's the
Yes.
insecurity that's the problem, which we talked about, like an underlying issue connected to like the addiction aspect of it. So the beer
Yeah.
or any pain, I mean any substance abuse after that, that's not the problem. That's the solution to the problem. In a sense, so it's like as long as you're gonna see like the addiction as being the problem, well, no, the addiction is the solution to the problem. So now, okay, the question is
So
like,
then
okay,
where do we go?
well, exactly, what is the addiction helping you with? That's a different
I,
question. And then
I
with whatever you're describing, okay, all right, 17, anxious, I mean, not fitting in, social anxiety, and all this kind of stuff. I drink a beer. Oh my God, I feel much better. Now I can go and talk to like, so it's not the problem. That's that give you a solution. And then your brain, okay, all right, good. When we drink a beer, we feel like more like at ease, more at peace, and whatever, more calm, and like, more confident.
yeah.
All right,
I mean, when I
that's
first went to parties, I would just like be in a corner, just like, God, this is awful. Get me the fuck out of here.
yeah.
But because I was so anxious and I was so shy and had like difficulty talking to girls, and because it was all stemming from like insecurity and like I did not like who I was.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Understand? And then you're going to be drinking so you can feel like more at ease with yourself.
Right.
And obviously in social situation, you understand? So it's like the problem is like you not liking yourself, not alcohol. And when you drink alcohol, well, you like get to the place where you like yourself more, or you're going to numb the fact that you don't like you.
Right.
Make I mean, it's like that's like my approach. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one. Obviously, I don't like really like in touch with like all the people who work in treatment center. But I mean, my approach is a bit different. Yeah, because I mean, again, if you like, that's the same thing. The example I always use is all right. I mean, if you break your arm, and the bone is sticking out, okay, good. I mean, you're gonna go to the doctor. They're gonna do okay, yeah, here, take some pain medication, everything's gonna be fine. Okay, but the bone is just sticking out. So yeah, I mean, if they're gonna give you up a pill, no problem. You might be good for like a few days, and then you're gonna need more. Why? Because the problem is still there.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
again,
yes.
in 2,
Hmm.
3, 10, 20 pills, I mean, like until you fix the problem. And then they're gonna tell you, yeah, well, now you have an addiction problem. No, I have my bone sticking out of my arm problem. Then you
Yeah.
fix everything, you let it heal, and that's it. And then the pain is gone. If the pain is gone, well, then okay. Now the problem we have, like with the addiction aspect of the physical pain, is one thing, but you have mental, emotional, and all that kind of pain too. That the brain is going to be, oh shit, that help us with that too. So in the
Yeah.
physical, obviously, it's like, I mean, if you're like, if your bone is sticking out, the doctor is going to give you a pill. Well, you're going to change doctor and find somebody to understand because it's. But at the emotional level, we're not used to like, okay, how to deal with it. That's the same thing. But
Well,
if you have like an emotional wound that's still open, I mean, okay, well, that's going to be triggered.
and I guess
That-
that's what's so it's so concerning for me because there's really very few people that understand this. And, addiction is, very, very common in our country and throughout the world. And the way they're going about trying to solve it is just seems to be creating more problems.
Well, I mean, because I mean, they want to stop you. I mean, they want you to stop taking basically the pain medication when the bone is sticking out. Okay, so
Right.
the pain is going to come back.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
there's a logic. I mean, no, not in the way that it's dealt with. But I'm saying, so okay, the only way that you can know that you have a pain is like when you feel the pain. So if you numb the pain, well, you don't have any pain. But doesn't mean like okay, it's the same thing. Like okay, if you have like the oil on your car, the oil on the dashboard, the red light come up.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that you need to put oil in your
You're
engine.
low on oil.
Okay,
Right.
all right. Well, you can cut the signal there. And that's it. Oh, everything is fine except what you didn't put oil in the engine. So like, over time, and what's gonna happen? You're gonna blow the engine.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's the same thing there. I mean, the brain has to find a solution. Obviously, so it's like all right. I mean, oh, that pain. When I take that pill, oh, I don't feel the pain. Okay, good. But it doesn't change the fact that why the pain is there in the first place. So if you want to stop using, in a sense, well, you have to remove the reason why you're using. Then the reason why you're using is all the like, underlying issue, like that we don't want to deal with. That's why I like when people, oh, I don't want to think about it. Yeah, okay. You don't want to think about it it's because you're thinking about it. That's why you don't want to think about it. And the only way through is what? Well, thinking through, so you can release whatever needs to be released, so you can find your peace of mind. Go back to the same thing. Stage one is always going to be peace of mind. Now, obviously, or you can like definitely like keep trying to like distract yourself, which for me, that's what addiction is. A way to
Yeah.
distract yourself from the pain. And that's why I mean, again, I mean, you are addicted to pain medication.
Yes.
What is a pain medication for?
Uh, well, it's for physical pain, and
Right, it's
it
pain.
also and pain. It also definitely helps with emotional
Okay,
pain.
that's
Yeah,
that's
for
what's called
sure.
pain medication. They help you
100%.
help you with pain. And at the
Yeah.
level the way we are, again, it can be physical pain, it can be mental pain, it can be like emotional pain.
Yeah.
And that's like that's what as long as you don't resolve the problem. Now on the physical aspect, obviously, if you have a pain, well, the emotional, like I said, we're not like that used to. We know like okay, I don't feel good, or I'm stressed. But I mean, you have to be a lot more specific. The same way, like okay, I mean, like your bone is sticking out. Well, we know where that is. Like, okay, on the stress aspect, well, it's vague. What stress you out? Because okay, I'm stressed. Okay, now if you have to like get like to an investigation, if you want yourself into okay, what stressed me out in life, and when you're more clear, well, then you can take like action if you want. Okay, I'm stressed. What is it? At work. Why? You know what I mean? Why? Why? Okay, good. And then, all right, if you know exactly why you're stressed, well, then, okay, how can I find a solution there?
Right.
If you just stay at the level of I'm just stressed, I mean, okay, well, nothing can be resolved because you don't know what stress you are,
It's
or you
got to
have an
get.
idea and all that.
Yeah, it's got to get to Susan accounting's a bitch. That's why I'm stressed.
Well, I mean,
Right.
that's like, it's true. I mean, everybody's going to be like that. Then you have a personal aspect, or like, that's why, again, Anxiety. Okay, people have anxiety. The feeling is the same, except like it might be like definitely coming from different places. I know in a different, more specific situation, people for different people. So that's also a personal investigation there into like, okay, what stress you out in your life, or what makes you like anxious, or what make you depressed, all that. Now the feeling is the same. Now it's like situation is going to be different. It might be a relationship, it might be work, it might be like your parents, it might be your kid, it might be like But more you detail, more you specific, and more you can find like how to help you out to like not to stay there. But if you don't think about it and you try not to think about it, okay, good. I mean, how that's going to resolve anything?
Yeah, not.
It cannot.
It's just a it's
Go
a circle.
Well, exactly.
It's there. It's there whether you're
That's what I'm
willing to
saying,
acknowledge it or not. It's definitely there.
Working with people, I mean, all right. Hey, I mean, let's go back to like a memory, a certain memory that's hurtful. Oh no, I don't want to go back there. Why? Because it's hurtful. Yeah, well, that's why we need to work on it. Because if not, what you think you're going to be doing? On the conscious aspect doesn't mean like that you think about that memory nonstop, but the subconscious is still like spinning on it. And that's why I say, oh yeah, but I mean, I don't want to bring the past back. My concept. I want to bring the past back. The past is in the past. No, the past is not in the past if it's bothering you right now. And that's what people don't realize. Yeah, something might have happened 10 years ago. But if it's still bothering you now, well, then the past is not 10 years ago. No, it's not in the past 10 years ago. It's right now.
Yeah.
And that's why the different, one thing I understood also is like, as long as you work in this moment, anything from in this moment is connected to the past anyway. So in this moment, whatever bothering you, as long as you're working on that, you still clear up the past.
Right.
But also like open up like new future potential. Because time-wise, in this moment, you got the past, the present, and every future potential. And then that's your responsibility of what you're going to do about it. Well, that's why, like, the first exercise I ask everybody to do is, all right, I mean, obviously, like, on the general aspect, what bother you right now? Like, if you want to jumpstart something, okay, thinking about, like, a negative memory.
Yeah.
All right, good. And trust whatever your subconscious is going to show you right now, because that's the memory that you need to work on. And some people obviously, oh my God, I don't want to go there. And, well, okay, sorry, but if you don't want to go there, then you're not going to change the thing that you want to change. To stay at no, I don't want to go to the detail of like the program and what I don't like about it, because it's fine. I mean, it helps people, no problem. But for me, there's definitely something that you can add to it that will make it even more efficient. It's just definitely like realizing, all right, the addiction is not the true problem. That's the solution to the problem. And the problem is like all this emotion that, I mean, is still like bothering us that we've been carrying for, I mean, years and years and years. And the only reason we still carrying them is because you don't look at them.
Yeah.
And then that's the main thing, the main problem. Why? Because looking at them is like definitely like hurtful. And that tell us, I mean, why you're using and how much you're using is going to tell you, like, I mean, tell us, I mean, how much like pain you're carrying.
Yeah, I mean, until I started writing, I didn't really know the source of where the pain was coming from. I mean, I knew it was there. I knew it wasn't just like I wasn't just born like that, but
obviously, like I mean, anybody else. I mean, obviously something has to be triggered, and like since birth, and obviously we got also like the pre-birth with like all the pre-birth imprint, because everything is at the level of the feelings, emotion, feelings. So I mean, whatever like the way your parent feels.
What's pre-birth imprint?
Well, it's like again, I mean, everything that start. Everything about yourself start when conception happened.
Conception, okay.
That's where everything starts.
Okay.
Then you got the conception and whatever happened during conception. After that, you got the 9 months of pregnancy, which is very important too. And then there's the deep connection with mom there. Then at the level of the feelings, I mean, okay, whatever is going on in mom's life, basically, well, you're gonna be impacted by it at the emotional aspect. her fears, I mean, whatever.
Right, and you wouldn't even know.
I know, but obviously not. You know. But and then the delivery. What happened during delivery? I mean, any trauma there, and you're like fear, and you're like, okay, bam. So you got 1, 2, or 3 that before you on this plane, if you want, out of mom. There's already like a lot of programming that happened there, and actually all the programming is going to be happening then. Then when you're born, bam, and then everything is like that. That's when the pattern aspect starts like happening. And then we just reproducing pattern. And at some point, like, okay, at some point, like, okay, in the addiction aspect, well, okay, I mean, that's what I'm always asking, okay, when did you start using? You know what I mean? Because what we're looking for is before that. I mean, again, it's like the tendency they stay stuck into like, okay, after they start using and how their life was miserable and all that. And the guilt and shame because drinking, using, and how you're gonna hurt people and all that, which is valid. I'm not saying like, okay, obviously, guilt, shame, regret, remorse. I mean, when we're working on that, I mean, you're working on any guilt, shame, regret, remorse. So there's gonna be a lot, obviously, like coming from like the addiction aspect of it. But that's after. As soon as you start using, well, okay, I'm not saying like it's not important, but it's not the most important because to find the underlying issue, you're gonna have to go before. And what was happening in your life before you start using. What's the same thing? I mean, see it as a pain medication. So as soon as you start taking pain medication, it's because, okay, you realize there was some pain.
Yeah. Oh, it was, I mean, I was pretty young when I started feeling, I guess, a bit depressed, but didn't even know how to express it really, or
whatever you want. I mean, no, I don't feel good.
At the time I was growing up, it's like nobody was talking about this stuff or mental health or anything. It's just you just figure it out. And so yeah, it was quite young. I would say 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like,
yeah.
It's like what happened with like most people. I mean, it's not like, I mean, but I mean, there's a life before and life after, if you want. Life you had before, then depression, anxiety. I mean, all that start. You start being aware that, oh, I have this like new thing. Like, it's like, okay, when that started, or when that starts, I mean, what we're looking for is like, okay, what happened that started the depression, or what happened that started the anxiety, or what happened like actually like we're gonna make you feel now in this unhappy, worthless, a disappointment. So obviously there's gonna be something that happened that's gonna trigger those feelings, and that's where the core of the problem is. Like, when you start using, it's over. Okay, then you start like the pain medication aspect of it to like cover up or help you out dealing with like certain stuff that you didn't want to deal with. But obviously that's going to create another like amount of problem. I mean,
yeah, definitely comes with another set of problems.
Exactly.
It's a whole other set of problems.
But the core of it, it's not like during your addiction. The core of it is going to be before that you start using. That's what we look. I mean, that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
And then on the clean-up aspect, but again, in this moment, if you ask the right question, I mean, your subconscious will show you exactly what you need to like, what you need to work on. That's what my general work, in the sense, is what every day. All right, what bothers me right now? It can be a big thing, it can be a small thing, it can bring back memory and all that. Okay, but that doesn't matter. I stay in this moment, asking myself the question, and I just trust what will come.
Yeah.
Because the goal is to find your peace of mind.
And
that's mental health. I mean, on the mental health aspect, I see mental health equal mental health and peace of mind.
Yeah,
to keep it simple. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm not going to go into the chemistry and all that. I mean, it doesn't matter there. Like, as long as you find your peace of mind, and how do you find your peace of mind? And well, you remove everything that bothers your peace of mind. That's why it's removing it. If you deny or repress, or you don't want to think about it, well, then okay, nothing changed. It's when you start like, okay, I need to let go of that. What letting go mean? I mean, first you have to like realize what you have to let go of, which means you have to first realize that you're carrying something that you need to let go. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's not just a concept there. I mean, all right, I'm carrying something that then I need to let go. Okay, good. What are you carrying that you need to let go? And that's the investigation aspect of it, and that's what we go back to again. What bothers me right now? And use trust. I mean, again, conscious, subconscious, when they are in alignment, I mean, they're working together. When they're not, and when they seem like they work against each other. But well, I mean, at the subconscious level, if the conscious is not willing to like look at whatever the subconscious wants to send, well, the subconscious is nothing else like can be done. And just like, okay, hold it, hold it. Depending what it is, I mean, obviously that's why then you start using. I mean, all right, let's start using, so I don't have to like until we're ready to face what we need to face. That's not gonna go away until you face it, and until we bring it from the subconscious to the conscious, because at the conscious, that's when the release happen.
And before, I mean, I'd done some investigation before I came to meet you, so I wasn't like completely convinced with the like genetic stuff, but you know, I'd been like diagnosed bipolar and this and that, and major anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, and so like I just, after hearing all those things, you just start to believe, like, I just was believing it was me, like I'm genetically fucked or whatever. But it was, I mean, although it's like there was a lot of pain I had to go through and still do sometimes, it was very relieving to see like, okay, this is just coming from somewhere that I've been holding on to.
Yeah, obviously the past.
The past, all yeah.
But then again, I mean, okay, that we know that, no problem. And then you have to be specific, and that's the specific aspect. Okay, what bothering me from my past that make me like anxious, that make me like depressed, that make me like angry, that make me like guilty, that make me shameful. You know what I mean? So it's not just like, I mean, recognizing some feeling, but also like, more specific you are about those feelings, and more like specific you can like be into what you're looking for to
Right.
to heal it, in the sense to let go of it. For me, letting go of healing is the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's not like, I mean, yeah, it is you. Of course it is you, because everything is in you. So it's not, I'm going to tell you, it's always you. But in the same time, well, the situation in your life that, I mean, that you're going to be like a part of, and then we can go back to like the parents and all that, and the way we were raised. I mean, yes, the parents did the best they could, no problem. But in the same time, the best they could doesn't mean like you're not going to be hurt by it.
Right. And I mean,
and that's like the time aspect, the time travel aspect of it. So that's what we do all the time travel. Go from the past, memory from the past, and then you project it like in the future. That's what people have. I mean, they told you. I mean, what we've been told, like, hey, you have to be in the moment. Yeah, be in the moment. What that mean? The moment is like the metaphysical aspect of it. In this moment, I mean, there's thought, feelings. So it's everything at the level of the mind. So being in this moment is recognize, okay, what's my thought process? What my feeling process? You know what I mean? And on the work, obviously, it's like, okay, we're working, making sure, all right. I mean, the question what bothered me is like, so we can clean up all the negative aspect that seems to be there in our life. And then again, what? You find your peace. From the peace, very important, because then you're more clear. And especially you don't want to make any decision based on emotion. That's what we'll clear up as much as possible the emotion, you find your peace of mind, and then obviously you're more clear about, okay, what direction I want my life to go. Or what should I do? Right? Okay, you have to work, I mean, you don't like your work, stress you out, anxiety, depression, and all that. Okay, good. When you clear that, that's what is. All right, good. And we know, all right, we need to change the environment, your working environment. Or a relationship or whatever. I mean, it's like whatever it is. I mean, to find like what's the best solution to get you to the place when you're going to feel happier. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be happy.
But instead of like, I remember I wanted to leave a couple jobs because things were being triggered by a boss, and you had me stay.
Yeah.
And I stayed until I eventually got fired.
Why?
But no, that's because I'm just like because like that the whatever that was coming into my life because that was an experience I had to release,
Yeah.
or past memory. And because I didn't keep going on it, it came back into my life in another way. But
Yeah, of course.
feel pretty solid in that area now. But
Well, I'm saying you remember where you were, just you were where you're now. So whatever work we did back then, even like, okay, it was not pleasant to stay in the work. We should never ask anybody to like quit if you want.
yes,
No, we start dealing with whatever problem or whatever emotion the work trigger in you. But in the same time, we start looking for options, like what's next for you.
yeah,
Because I mean, again, obviously, it's like if you have money, you don't need to work. Well, then it's not a problem, because what I don't want is people to like, on top of like not being happy at work, then they're gonna quit.
yeah,
And then there was desperation because, oh shit, now I need like to find something in 2 weeks, or if not, I'm gonna be in the street. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Then you're like, okay, so another set of problem there. And so I don't want people to face that. So yeah, not being happy at work, but at least you know what, you have a paycheck, and you can actually like, I mean, eat or whatever.
Well, and I mean, if you do the thing where you just quit, you're gonna pick just as shitty of a place to work,
Well,
because you haven't dealt with
that's
any of the things.
that's exactly the other thing for me is like the vibration aspect of it. If you quit, well, then you got a vibrational quitter. When we realize we don't like the job, no problem. We don't quit. We work through like whatever it is that we don't like in the job, and then that gives you like more clarity into what you want next. You know what you don't want to experience, and you know what you want to experience. And we keep working on that until, well, the universe, whatever you believe in, show you, all right, here is an opportunity. It will come to you, but you still have to clean up all the stuff that, I mean, you don't like in at that job first. Why? Because then you're more clear about what you want. Because if not, oh, I don't like that job. Well, no problem. I'm going to quit. No problem. What do you think you're going to be attracting next? The same kind of, or even worse?
Possibly worse.
Yeah. That's not, I mean, there's a logic to it. Again, it's like everything in this life, basically, and especially on the outside and an illusion aspect of it, everything is there to help you become the best person that you can be. And I know sometimes it's not easy, depending, okay, and that's why we work through trauma and all that, to be able to like, oh, find closure, find peace of mind, let go of it. And then obviously some people like, when you think, then when you're at that spot, okay, what did I learn from that trauma? How that trauma made me like a better person? And then that's when like actually like, okay, then everything is lifted there. I mean, then like you're into like becoming like the best version of you. The best version of you, obviously, like time after time and years after years, is always going to change and evolve too. It's just the beauty of like life by itself. I mean,
right.
It's no. That's why I don't like when like they're trying to fit you somewhere. That's where you are. That's where you are. That's where you are. Okay, but as you move forward in life, you do your personal work and and working. I mean, personal work and working on yourself. And a lot of stuff's going to be released. A lot more awareness, and then you're like a different person every time. That's for me the concept like of the awakening aspect, but also like being born again.
Yeah.
Every time you like lose like perception or whatever you thought was the truth before, okay, now you realize, oh my God, that was totally wrong. Okay, you're a new person. Like being born every time, no? That's the awakening. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I've seen that way for so many years. I mean, I'm realizing, oh my God, I was totally wrong. Yeah. And how many other things were wrong that we like right now believe like that is the truth. And we go back to that. I mean, who told you that was the truth? Are you thinking for yourself, or are you letting somebody else think for you? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, no problem. But then think for yourself. Does it make sense to you? And then sometimes you might have to do some research, investigation into, okay, this is what I heard, but can I trust that? And then that's from the outside. And then when you realize that the mind, I mean, it's the same thing. But then I can complicate a lot of different things. But again, as long as you do your personal work on paper, because then you're more clear. But if you try to do that everything at the mind level, I mean, it's going to be a lot of confusion there. That's why the planet is what it is.
And we do it on paper, so we're not out in public blowing up on people.
Obviously, depending on what you work.
Exactly. I mean, that's just like a extreme example or whatever. But
you're right. Like,
you know.
that's our responsibility. I mean, for me, that's our responsibilities. Our responsibilities is like dealing with the way we think and the way we feel. Because if not, it's going to be projected out. And that's what I use the paper first of all to be able to like write the thought process. You're going to have to like slow the thought process so you can write it. When you slow the thought process, well, you got more awareness of what the thought process is, or more clear about what the thought process is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important too. Not the thoughts go like all over the place. I mean,
Is there a noticeable, would you say a noticeable benefit between actually physically writing
yeah.
and like typing something?
Well, that's science there. I mean, it's like, you know, at the time when I was doing some research on that part, yeah, there's definitely some scientific experiment on that part with the writing compared to the typing. Why? Because writing involved like a lot more muscle, so the muscle hand brain connection, if you want.
Okay.
Compared to typing, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I mean, like, I think they were saying like it's about like 10,000 muscle when you write, and a lot less muscle depending how many fingers you use when you type. And so I mean, like the connection brain hands is a lot more like a lot more important if you want when you do the writing.
And it almost just seems different how you're focused on whatever, whether you're left handed or right handed, you're focused on your one hand and
yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, more into basically more into what's happening. Well, on the thought process to like record it writing, because most of the people who type they don't even think, and that's like one of the experiments that was like I saw or I read was like, I mean, they did like they had two group of like a secretary.
Okay.
Okay, two group. One group was typing, so they're gonna be like dictate like text. So one group was typing, the other group was like writing it. Okay, and then they give them a break. I think it was like 30, 45 minutes break, and okay, and they bring everybody in and they ask questions, specific questions about the text that is just typed. And the one who like typed it couldn't answer one question.
Okay, that
like actually wrote could answer every question. That's why they realized, oh, there's an important difference between the typing and writing. Now, because I got that question all the time. So yes, obviously, writing is much better on the personal work aspect of it on the release. Now, if you don't want to write, because I mean the new generation, they're like everybody's typing. I mean everything. I mean the writing is going to be abolished soon enough. We're not going to be able to write. So everything's going to be through computer. So okay, that's I'd rather you type if you want. Or people sometimes like if you hurt your hand and all that. Okay, yeah. So you see, we can use like the keyboard. I mean, yeah, you can type. But on the personal investigation aspect of it, writing will be definitely the best. Now, is it better to type than to do nothing? Yeah, of course. I mean,
right.
so it's like,
yeah, there's still
sometimes I have clients, especially in the treatment or like even private. Sometimes like, okay, they like injure their hand. Okay, good. I mean, what do you do now? I'm like, okay, we type. It's still expressing.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, obviously, my level of typing, I type with two fingers, and I have to like focus a lot because I mean, I don't know. I see people. My daughter. I don't know if you like that, but my youngest daughter.
No.
I mean, they type like My mom, and my sister also like
Oh yeah.
type like with every
Like
finger.
normal, right?
Like, they can watch TV, like music and type. I'm like, how they do that?
Yeah, I do that. You do the dinosaur. Huh? You do the dinosaur.
Yes, I do like two finger. That's it. People always make fun of me, and I'm look at him typing. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I'm like, I'm not from that generation.
Yeah, no, I get it. I lucked in by like a year.
Yeah, and yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to type either.
I mean, I see like 7, 8 years old, like on their phone.
Yeah.
Well, that's why same thing with my youngest daughter. Sometimes she texts me. Right? She like text like I don't know how many words a second.
Oh
yeah. Ask me a question. I'm like, it's gonna take me fucking 15 minutes to like type the answer there instead of like calling you and like we can talk about that and that will give me I can resolve that in 2 minutes. I mean, it's like the younger generation. They're like, no, that's good. We'll just type. No.
Do you think there's impact? Like, I kind of just thought of this. Like, do you think there's like impacts on people like feeling like more lonely because there's so much texting and like so little either face to face or even on the telephone feels like more the text just feels so like it's crazy.
Impersonal.
Yeah.
Personal
like
and
not very rewarding.
Well, no, exactly. And yeah, we're definitely a creature that like the social aspect of it. Even if you have social anxiety, it doesn't matter. You still need it. I mean, still there's a social aspect of it. And yes, that's what I don't like about that. No, what's happening. And I know about. I mean, again, I'm not going to go into detail of that. Yes, okay, there's a pandemic and all that, but I mean, a lot of people are definitely like not happy because I mean, it's not only the freedom aspect of it, but yeah, I mean, there's like you cannot live your life the way that you used to if you want. And there's like, in-person aspect that's not there anymore. That's why you see the commercial when everybody's happy doing like Zoom or whatever, I mean, like Skype or whatever we do. But I mean, it's totally different. What can I say? It's like, there's no warm there. Like,
Right.
You're going to have Christmas with your family or Christmas with your family on the web. I mean, on Skype and all that. It's different. Yeah, okay, you can see them.
That's the most depressing thought I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I mean, separate. I mean, they separate us again. I mean, and okay, and we have like this need also to like come together. What can I say?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm an introvert. I know you're an introvert as well, but I still like love social contact.
Yeah, that's what I was telling. Yeah, anxiety and social anxiety. Well, we understand it, but I still like to like see people. I mean,
yeah.
And even if I used to be afraid of it. Okay, no problem. But I still I was still excited to like, oh yeah, we're gonna go there. Okay, and then I freak out when you're there because there's so many people.
I know that one.
But there's like, there's also like, oh my God, and it's like, and then you stay in your corner because you're afraid of talking to anybody. But at the same time, it's still like you're still part of, even if you're in the corner. I mean,
or how about that one where you like know a couple people at the party and they like whatever happens, they get engaged in other conversations and then you're just there alone.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's brutal. That one's brutal, and I'm just like I'll like look around for a couple minutes, or not even that, like a couple seconds, and then I bolt to like I'm out of there.
Oh yeah, or I just go in a corner somewhere where I'm safe. I mean, I can observe everything, all that. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, but by myself, it's definitely a lot more difficult. I mean, why with my wife and all that. I mean, plus now I'm not at the same place that I used to be. That definitely, but. Yeah, social situation. But still, even if I was afraid of it, I mean, it doesn't matter. Something that definitely like gave me something in a sense, and I think it's the truth for everybody. I mean, it's like having Christmas around the table with your family, or Christmas, everybody like separate, and like even if you see yourself through like those platforms that they have, it's totally different. Totally different. The touch, the hug. I mean, it's something that we need.
Oh, it's necessary.
Yeah, and that's basically what we see. Like a lot of like more like and happiness with people, because I mean, and that's what's gonna kick like more depression, more anxiety, more frustration, more anger. And that's why I think we talked about that a little bit last time, in the sense, okay, this is what's important to be doing now. It's like be aware of like everything that's happening in you, so you can do your personal work. Because if not, you're going to project it out. And that's like so right now we have an opportunity to like actually do a lot more introverted work, because everything is triggered so much more. So if you know what to do and pay attention to it and do the work it takes to release it, and find your peace of mind. And well, then definitely at the level of the awakening, it will happen faster and faster and faster. And there is no choice anyway, because the awakening is in place now. So it's like the choice: are you going to be like awakening or not? That's it. And that's basically what we do. Why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Go back to like, okay, awareness. It was part of the awakening. More awareness, and more you awaken.
Yeah.
And then when you're more aware, you're awakening more, obviously, well, you're going to start seeing like different shade of truth that you didn't before. And that's the key. And then remembering, remembering that at the core, what you are is peace. So to get back to peace, you have to remove everything that's bothering your peace.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I see the disease is that part. And disease is what? Disruption, disturbance of the ease. When you cut the
This
word, no? Disturbance of the ease.
this
Okay, now if you like
disturbance of
replace, if you
ease.
replace ease with like peace, okay, whatever is disturbing your
Disturbing
peace, that become at the end, that's going to become a disease, mental, which obviously at one point will become like physical.
physical. Yeah.
So as long as you like do the work it takes to find your peace of mind every time and removing everything that bothers your peace of mind, well, then you're preventing bigger, I guess, mental health or physical health. So like, and that's what for me is very important, especially nowadays. We see a lot of things that happen out there that's going to trigger. I mean, everybody is in fear right now. And not, I
Yeah.
mean, not that before it was not the case, but now it's like it's an intensity, if you want.
It's amplified. It feels like
Amplified,
it's
yeah.
turned up
It's
times
magnified.
like 10.
Yeah, because now
It
it's
feels
all over the
like,
planet. I mean, now
yeah.
you got like whatever, almost 8 billion people now. Okay, so even like some of them might not be obviously not affected as everybody else, but we have a lot of people that are being affected the same way. So now at the energy level, obviously, and vibration aspect of it, well, that's going to be affecting all of us. And then we're going to be trigger, emotional trigger. When I talk about trigger, it's always going to be emotional trigger, and whatever feelings. And okay, fear, uncertainty. I mean, it's like everybody's been triggered the same way.
It definitely impacted me more than I thought it would. But it's also allowed me, I would say, to let go of a lot more than I might have.
Yeah.
In a quicker time frame.
And that's the key for me. I mean, the gift and the curse. Put it out
Yeah.
of this time period.
Just like being sensitive.
Well, exactly.
Curse.
The curse aspect of it's because it's been a lot of things has been triggered.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things are being triggered. So you can't miss it.
Yeah.
That's the curse. If you don't know what to do. Now, in the gift aspect of it, if you know what to do, well, the feeling is going to be the same that's been triggered. Now, if you know what to do because you're going to be working on them, with your responsibility to like actually like letting go of them and doing the work it takes to let go of them. Now, obviously, I use writing. I'm not saying like, I mean, everybody has to do the same thing, but for me, that's something that in my personal experience and obviously working with all of you guys, I mean,
Yeah.
I see like, okay, yeah, it makes a difference for me, and then you get there faster. Might just be me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, so, but there's some other way like actually dealing with emotion. I mean, and that's basically the key. We're gonna have to deal with it and do the work it takes to let go.
I mean, I find writing every morning a way of like taking out my mental trash.
Yeah.
And starting the day clean.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why I call it emotional shower.
Emotional shower. That's
Well, yeah, because again, I mean,
that's
what
what
about
it
this?
is.
If you go like the physical aspect of it, all right, if you take a shower a day, well, you're gonna feel a certain way. If you take a shower a week, you're gonna feel a certain way. Shower a month, you're gonna feel a certain way. And then on top of that, depending on the period of time, summer, are you active and all that? And I mean, are you sweating? And then you're gonna start stinking.
Yeah, I can get
And,
that.
and then you see how that's gonna be affecting your behavior in social situation.
It's a great
And now like, you
metaphor.
stinking, you're gonna be like, oh my god. I mean, I hope like nobody smell me. Oh my god. Oh, I can't go too close to that person or that. No, and that's the same thing at the emotional level, and that's why social anxiety.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
something that stinks about you. So it's
Yeah.
not physical. It's emotional or like mental emotional combination of it. I mean,
And then
and
subconsciously,
you know that something stinks in you, and you're afraid of people are gonna smell it, and that's what social anxiety. So you stay away from it. But now
never
again,
heard it
that
explained
concept.
that way.
Well,
It's
that's
brilliant.
the same concept. Okay, now if you never took a shower, emotional shower, obviously you're gonna be like stinking emotionally, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's why now what you do. I mean, like in France they put perfume. Like here, okay, we got addiction and all that. That's gonna help you to like definitely feel like what's the solution? Take a shower. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the problem? The problem is, okay, I need to take a shower. That's it. And that's basically like what I teach. I mean, that's why the writing for me is like that give you like the first of all, it's an action.
Yeah.
So on the physical plane, it's a plane of action. So, okay, we're writing, it's an action. Obviously, we use the hands, which is like, for me, the extension of the heart. And on the level of purification of the heart, that's why I use my hands. The hands, okay, bring somebody close to your heart or push them away. And that's the same thing there, except we're doing writing, expressing, and all that. So that's the shower for me. I mean, a lot of people, because we've been taught, again, the physical aspect, taught how to brush our teeth, take a shower, clean up, or whatever. I mean, that's very important.
Yeah.
But nobody teaches us about, okay, how to deal with our emotion. Oh, there's no emotion.
Why is that? That's crazy. We'll save that one for another.
Yeah, exactly.
For another session.
I think we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost an hour. I mean, I think we have to keep it.
Yeah.
Let's keep it always at 40.